Okay. When you're dividing, what is the degree of the polynomial we're dividing? Cubic, right? But notice that there is no x squared term. It's missing a power of x. In between the highest power and the constant, it's missing a power of x. So when I show the division, okay, I need to show it, I need to use a zero coefficient term for x squared. I can't let it be blank. I have to fill in a zero coefficient x squared term since there is no x squared term, right? Minus 13x plus 12. Okay, and now we're still dividing by the x minus 3. Okay, now what would I multiply? What goes up here as the first step? X squared, right? X squared times x is x to the third. So I start with an x squared. Quiet, please. X to the third minus 3x squared. Okay, subtract. Now notice that if I didn't have a 0x squared term, I wouldn't have anything to subtract against here. So it could lead to some errors. You can, if you keep everything really straight, actually not have that problem, but most of the time if you don't put that 0x squared term, it's going to lead to a wrong answer. What is 0 minus negative 3? Positive 3, right? Minus a negative is like positive. Okay, bring down the negative 13x. Okay, now what do I multiply times x to get 3x squared plus 3x? Guys, knock it off. 3x squared minus 9x. Okay, what is negative 13x minus negative 9x? Negative 4x. Bring down the 12. Okay, now last step. What times x equals negative 4x? Negative 4. So that is negative 4x. Negative 4 times negative 3 is plus 12. Subtract 0. So what does that tell us? X minus 3 is a factor. Okay. And in fact, this polynomial here, this quadratic, is easily factorable too. You know, what are the two numbers? His product is negative 4 and his sum is 3. Positive 4, negative 1. So you could actually have all three factors there, which is generally what we try to go for. Now let's do the same problem with synthetic division next on this side here. Okay, I've got to, when I write the coefficients here, because I'm missing a power of x, I've got to write it like 1, 0, negative 13, and 12. Okay, what number goes in the bracket? Positive 3, the 0, right? So I got to put in a positive 3 here. Bring down the 1. Once you got it all set up, right, then you start the multiplying. 3 times 1. 3 times 3. 3 times negative 4. 0. So the remainder is 0. And these are the coefficients of a polynomial of 1 less degree than I started with. Okay, now you tell me that's not easier than long division. That you fill in for a missing power of x with a 0 coefficient term. Whether you do it in synthetic division or whether you do it in long division, you got to put in a 0 coefficient. Okay?